Hello, good evening. Welcome to day one of the Toronto International Film Festival. I am so thrilled to welcome you all to the world premiere of Patricia Rozema's Mouthpiece. This is also the opening film of the special presentation section, so we're very thrilled about that. To begin, I'd like to acknowledge that tonight's event is taking place on the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of New Credit and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat. We're grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community. Thank you. This film is also eligible for the Canada Goose Award for Best Canadian Feature Film, the Gros People's Choice Award, and you can vote at tiff.net/vote. We would like to thank the Creative Artists Agency for providing us with the film tonight. And Patricia Rozema is one of Canada's most iconic filmmakers, and we're absolutely thrilled to welcome her back to TIFF. When I first saw the film for the festival, I was speechless by the end. It masterfully takes us into a woman's psyche in ways that are funny, astute, arresting, and incredibly moving. I think for all of us who love cinema, we hope for moments where our hearts leap off the screen in recognition of profound truths, and this happened for me many times in this film. It's a rich, deep, and complex exploration of how women are socialized, and it's so brilliantly brought to life by the actors and playwrights who created the original play Mouthpiece, Amy Nostbakken and Norah Sadava. And now it's my honor to welcome Patricia Rozema.
If I could describe what a moment like this means, I wouldn't be a filmmaker. The word gratitude doesn't begin to tell you what I feel, but I'm just going to have to start there with thanks. Thanks to you for coming. I know there's many, many demands on your time, and it's valuable, and there's demands on your hearts, and don't take that lightly, and I hope I serve you well, that we serve you well today. I also want to thank the festival, Dennis, Piers, Cameron, Steve. Thank you for giving this a beautiful, honored spot in the festival. It really means a lot to have your stamp of approval. It does. And then the people who invested in this movie. I'm also a producer on this, so I can speak to these things. The Telefilm, OMDC, Breaking Barriers, and then 6 remarkable angels who came in with their hard-earned cash and just like gave us faith for such a risky enterprise. I really have to thank them very, very much. And then these 5 people who I did not know before I started, and they are now very good friends. My co-producers, Christina Piovizan and Jennifer Shin, please. I need a hug. And then, making her screen debut, the extraordinary Mev Beatty. And if that weren't enough, my co-writers, my dear friends and actors, Norah Sadava and Amy Nostbakken. Thank you, and we'll speak to you at the end of the credits, if you so desire. Thank you. Amy, Norah, and Mev, please. Their screen debut, these things. Come. And Jess Salguero, Jess. Ari Cohen, Jake Epstein, Paula Boudreau. Who else? Taylor. Yeah. Ishan Dave. Who else? Help me.
The designer's Mara and Marissa. That's all.
Pardon?
Mara and Marissa.
Okay, and also people who helped us make it, and beautiful spirits all. Mara and Marissa, who did costume. Zazu Myers, production designer. Brendan Brady, are you here? Lara Johnson, unbelievable editor. My co-producers, Christina Piovizan and Jennifer Shin. Thank you. And who have I forgotten?
Jess.
And okay, anyway. Other people, I'm hurting their feelings right now. And please, people in the audience that are like the investors, you angels, you helped us, you trusted us, and you gave us, your hard-earned dollars and let us do something this wild and this personal. Please, Maria Martin Stanley, I don't think she's here tonight, but Alex and Joanne and Angela Brisborne, please. Where are they? Are they standing up? Stand up. Who else? I'm lost. Martha McCain, Kate Ramsey, Martha Ramsey, please stand up.
Thank you so much, Patricia. So we're about to start the Q&A, so please think of your questions. Before we get started, I would love to ask about your process of collaborating with Norah and Amy to adapt this play into the film.
Well, we didn't like each other at first.
We hate each other. We still don't.
I saw their play. It was a revelation. Into the light, apparently. I saw the play. It was startling. My daughter actually was interning at Nightwood Theatre and said, "Mama, you have to see this." And I dutifully went, and my mind was blown. It was 1 hour. It focused mostly on a young woman. It is triggered by her mother's death, but the character of the mother wasn't there. And I thought, this is lightning, this is gold, something beautiful is here. I have no idea how to do it, but we have to do something. And I asked them, well, you go tell your part.
Well, we met Patricia for coffee because Nightwood said she had come. And within a couple minutes, she said, "I want to throw my hat in the ring to make a film out of this play." And we were not expecting that. And it was like, I don't know, weeks, days later, we were in a car driving to the middle of nowhere with a complete stranger for a few days to start writing a screenplay. And it just rolled out pretty naturally from there, really.
So the mother and the Christmas story and the I don't know what else did we come up with there. The sex scene. We did it together. We took turns telling stories that meant something, that made us laugh or cry, and that's what would stay in. And that was the process. It was very, very intuitive. I told them to just embrace the fact that they'd never done it before, because that will allow us to be really free. We inhale so many rules of how we think we should do things, and I just wanted to. I always regret not going farther, and I thought, well, this is the place to lose our minds together.
Questions? Questions? Balcony. Oh,
Nothing.
is there one up at the very top? Please shout out and I'll repeat it.
Hello. First of all, I really want to congratulate you guys. The film was excellent, and I really appreciated it. I really wanted to ask, how hard was it to, do your movements exactly at the same time? How long did that take?
So how hard was it to do your movements at the same time, and how long did that take?
Amy and I have been touring the play of Mouthpiece for about 3 years, and a lot of the play is in total synchronicity, so we had years of practice.
Yeah, there's no trick. It's hours and weeks and months and years in front of a mirror.
A lot.
Questions? Yes, the front. So the question is for Norah and Amy. How did you decide which side of you each of you were going to have?
Well, we purposely don't want it to be binary. So I think often the script stage, people who are reading the script asked who's the good one and who's the bad one. So we purposely try to, and some of them just knew by looking at us.
You're the bad one, right? Okay.
Strangely. But we purposely flip it as much as possible.
Yeah, we looked into. The two of them in the play. There's no sort of Jekyll or Hyde or anything like that, or extroverted, introverted, anything. And in the film, we wanted to maintain the messiness of internal sort of dual consciousness, and we thought that's not the experience of having that talk in your head. So we didn't want to. So we almost arbitrarily, okay, you get that scene, you get that scene. Oh no, you've got too many in a row. Okay, the way that you. And then during the shooting, I kind of started to adjust a little bit, where I'd feel like, okay, let's give this one to. I just sort of saw tendencies and things, so I would adjust. I kind of adapted a little bit during the shooting.
Questions? Yes, at the side.
Can you talk a little bit about the music for the film and how it may have changed from the stage version?
So please talk about the music for the film and how it may have changed for the film version.
It radically changed. We thought we would just transfer the stage play's music to the screen, but it was too theatrical. So it's a totally original score, but the same premise, just using the unaffected female voice that didn't need anything else. So it's just layers of mostly my voice and sometimes Nora's voice too.
You're in a closet. She's in a closet in her house with sleeping bags pinned to the walls and a microphone and recorded on GarageBand. That's what that is. Yeah. And it was a thrilling process for me because I could edit a scene, and Lara and I could edit a scene, and then she would write 4 or 5 pieces a week, and I would try this one and that one, and you noticed that the ones that I always responded to were like the first thing you did in the moment.
Most of the pieces are I composed over weeks, most of the ones in the show are from the first day and the first take. So I think that tells me it's like instinct. Trust your impulse, I guess, and the more you think about it, it doesn't always make it better.
And the ones that, like, she calls it English-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, and then we did some...
That's for repeated viewing.
Questions? Yes, down here.
In the play, they're in white bathing suits and there's a white bathtub. That's the whole thing. Sorry, who are you dressing?
To the designs.
So the question is that it was very stripped down as a play, and when it was adapted, it became very like full of costumes and production design and all of that. So the question is, how much was that the writer's decision, or how much was it the responsibility of the whole team?
Well, we wrote it to be like realistic, except that there's two people playing one. Aside from that, it's all possible. We had to make some decisions, like they don't have like two phones and two bikes. They only touch one thing. That was just like an arbitrary decision we made, a rule we made. But I don't know. Zazu, you want to talk about the design? Zazu's amazing production designer.
Yeah, I don't know, kind of tough. I think, Patricia really gave me some fantastic guidance about how, wanting to make it feel rich and really push, aesthetically push things be a little bit beyond reality, I think, in some ways. I mean, especially the musical sequences, obviously. And yeah, we sort of tried to make her apartment this sort of hole that she's hiding out in as much as possible, and really use reflections a lot. That was sort of the leitmotif that we wove through it, was trying to incorporate reflections and Catherine Lutz, our DP.
Yeah, that's sadly missing Catherine Lutz. I mean, come on. She shot it.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
She's working, of course.
So she was really interested as well in shooting through beveled edges. So that kind of duplicated, there's some really nice ones of you as well, through, just shooting through beveled glass to kind of split one person into two people. We also, I think that was something we also did in the change room at the Hudson Bay, which was kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know, just kind of take those motifs and
Mara and Marissa together, they did the costumes together. Do you want to talk about our process of deciding how similar and how different they were, and do you want to talk a little bit?
I feel like you sort of already touched on it, but it's about the idea of creating a woman and what she would look like when she's not a yin and a yang. She's not one side of a coin and then the other side of a coin. She is both things at each moment, at all times. So how do you create that character that's two people, but also different people, but not with specific characteristics?
And I think one thing we were really mindful of was creating a twin. We didn't want to do that. We really wanted to sort of emphasize the duality and the complexity in any given person, and we were all very collaborative, and it was always a blast working with these amazing women.
It's 17% different.
Wasn't it 70? 17% different.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have, but thank you so much to all of you. Thank you for coming.